What's up, guys and gals? This is Nathan. Welcome to another episode of Comic Book Coloring Tips and Tricks. Um, so you might not have seen in the last episode, I think was 34. I colored this whole left side of the background. It was Matsuo and Shadowcat, and I did the whole recording. I think it was, I don't know, it was close to an hour after I finished recording it, and then I looked over and I noticed my mic was still muted, and that was a big disappointment. So I apologize for that. And yeah, I was kind of struggling as far as what I wanted to do with that, but I'll get into that in a little bit as I start coloring. Let me just kind of go over what we're going to do today. We got these AIM agents and Madam Hydra down here. I think we're going to try and knock both of those out and maybe start planning out some of this stuff depending on how we're doing on time. So let's go ahead and I'll get one of these guys on a separate layer first. There we go. No, I'm just going to lock that to make it easier. Alright, so yeah, yeah, it's just a big, mess up on my part as far as like, the recording for Friday. Or I guess I put it out on Thursday. I'd recorded it early and I just didn't know what I was going to do with it. Thinking about recording some commentary to go over it, but as I've said, I have issues where if I'm recording my desktop, I can't throw it into Premiere because for some reason, not sure what it is, but it decides to double up on the speed of the video. So that wasn't really an option, and I was considering not releasing it. But I believe I had mentioned that if I was going to color that stuff, I'd show you guys that footage in some way or other. So I just went ahead and decided just to go ahead and put it out, with no audio. Reinforce it and let everybody know, like, yeah, I know there's no audio. So luckily, I didn't have like 20 million comments on it. Well, not like I get 20 million views on the videos, but didn't have like a whole lot of comments. Hey, did you know there's no audio? I think it's messed up. There's no audio. Like, yeah. Want to make sure, to let everybody know that I knew there was no audio. I think this is goldish color. Let's do that just a tad. Again, this guy is going to be like, in the background, kind of small, so we don't have to go in with, 20 million shades of a color to get some good rendering on it. Man, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so I just went ahead and decided to release it, and leave it up to you guys. If you wanted to watch it, you could. If not, then no big deal. I figured you could throw it on like while you're listening to your own music or what have you. So I don't know. I wasn't expecting it to do like regular view numbers, but I just wanted to so I feel like you guys are more in it to learn than to be entertained. So I wanted to put it out, and those who wanted to watch it could watch it and not feel like you missed out on some of the process. What the heck was that? No. Why did that deselect? Okay, I guess I just lost my lasso selection. Let me get on the right layer. There you go. And same as usual, just keeping in mind where our light source is for these guys. Keeping it consistent. And I'm just going to go just a little bit there. Get some reflective lighting. And same with over here. Not too much. Yeah, there we go. Come on. And again, just to emphasize, you know, more of the face here. Don't want to go too much rendering on the neck or anything like that. So, and just because he's going to be such a small figure, we don't want to do too much rendering here. Okay, that's over exaggerated. My pen sometimes does a thing where I just push down a little bit and it wants to stay down, like, you know, until that little area is like pushed, you know, filled in with 100% of whatever color I'm using. So I have to wait for it to finish and then go back in and then redo it, which stinks. But, you know, it's just, that's Photoshop for you sometimes. Or my tablet or whatever. Working on the computer in general, I guess. Got to redo things sometimes. Okay, I was wondering why that had more blue. Keep on forgetting about that, dang. I should just delete it, but oh well. Let's go a little bit darker, a little bit more saturated color. Let's go a little bit more towards blue. Just want to, you know, shift the colors a little bit when you're playing with your sliders. It makes the colors more interesting. You're not just, you know, dealing with the green or something. Do that a little bit darker. Let me get this a little bit darker as well and turn off that. I'll do the same. Desaturate a little bit. A little bit more. There we go. Maybe I'll blend this color here, just to blend that out. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Maybe just a little bit more. Okay. Maybe just get a little bit of info on this collarbone. So light would hit that right there. All right, that looks good. We'll call that one done. Let's see. Now this one has a little earpiece. I think, yeah, that's it for him. Put him on a new layer, lock it down. I think we'll just keep on like picking from Sabertooth's skin colors. We can always adjust them later. Let me get a little divot out of there. Get a little bit lighter color on here. Not too crazy, just want to get one more little tone of color. Now for his earpiece. You know, we could get all in there and super detail it, but again, I mean, like that's how small that little thing is going to be. So I'm just going to grab my dodge tool. Again, it's at 100% on highlights. There we go. Let's hit it up here at the little hot spot. That looks pretty good. Let's see. This eye will be more in shadow, so I'm not even gonna color that one. Let's get a red. There we go. Well, all right. You talked me into it. Maybe we'll just do like a little bit. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, now the gold. I think it was like this one. This one over here is more in shadow, so I'm going to deselect those ones and then just go ahead and darken yeah, I'm going to darken this one up and desaturate it. So over there it appears more in the shadow. Maybe I'll take this blue, just add just a slight little bit, you know, just really lightly going across my tablet. And that'll just push that back into that shadow some more. And the green. So I think, what we might do, let me get this blue. You can see it's a darker blue, you know, maybe in the middle here. It's going to darken this. Let me throw it on multiply, maybe. Yeah, kind of like this color. So I set this back to normal now because I just picked that color up. Okay. All right, I think I have an idea what I can try on that. All right, let's go back up to our green. And again, roughing in the areas. Kind of sketching it in so we know where our light goes, and it also helps it blend in better. And again, when I make an overall selection, I'll start cutting into it. You can see too, like when I'm using my airbrush, after I make my selections, I'm not going like right here in the middle. So you can see like it's kind of hard to point out, but I'm using the edge. I keep on trying to point to it with my left hand. I'm using the edge of my airbrush. That's what's helping me get like those gradients. You know, I'm not. Let me put that on. It's like I'm not here, you know, doing it like that. That just fills in the whole area. But if I'm here, you know, like the edge of the airbrush is getting to it. That's what's giving, you know, helping me get like this little gradient and helping the colors blend better. Let me see if I can show you in here. You see that? If I go here, then it's just going to color the whole thing. Sometimes you want that, but not always. Just kind of keep that in mind. Should help you out blending a little bit better. So I know that's something that takes a while to get used to. You get just a little bit of a light on here. And now, what happened? Oh, accidentally merged down my layers. Okay. Sometimes my fingers are too fast. And again, because I have this whole guy on a separate layer and I have it locked, I can go ahead and select anything over here, but none of Wolverine's hand or anything like that, or the hand ninjas down here will get affected by my airbrush. It'll just be this guy down here, because that's what's on that layer, and I lock to it. So it's a pretty handy tool, so you don't have to keep on going back and like, oh, let me, you know, use my magic wand and deselect everything again and again and again. I just don't have to worry about that. You know, but if you're on a slower machine and layers are an issue, you can always just, you know, when you're done coloring one of the figures, just go ahead and merge it back down to your color layer. You know, just make sure you have a flats layer separate so you can always go back to that just in case. So I'm just going to hit the top part of his chest, because I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and blend that a little bit more first, because that is like way too sharp. Yeah, okay, that looks right. And now, because I don't want this green down here to be too dark, even though he's going into shadow, I don't want it to be too dark, because then Madame Hydra's hair doesn't stand out as much as it needs to. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some lighting coming up. But let me first of all fix this. I don't know why this is bugging me. Not enough shadow, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. Where is, let me see, window, navigator. There we go. So I can look at it here. And I can see like an overall view of everything, so that's pretty handy. I don't have to keep on like zooming out and zooming in. I just look at this little window to check it out. Yeah, okay, those guys, well, not quite done yet. Okay, so let me go ahead and reselect those. I'll put this on a separate layer for now while I mess with this, just so I can see how this looks. I don't want to do too much. Let me pick this blue. Hmm. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Try it like on a overlay. That's not bad. It kind of adds the blue from over here into it, and it also helps separate. Let me do, oops, a little bit. Let me just put this on top of everything here. Hold on a second. And just a little bit here on Sabertooth. Yeah, I mean, I think it's all right. Let me just, now I just have like a can't even talk, I swear, normal layer. So first of all, I'm adding that little bit of blue here to Sabertooth, and then let me go back down to this aim guy. Let's add just hardly touching the screen on my Cintiq here. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, I wish there was like a little bit more opportunity to add some over here. Let's try that out. Maybe I'll go like on the overlay one first with that same color. Okay, it's adding a little bit of that blue. I'll go on the normal one and do the same. Yeah, I like it better without it on that side. Let's try over here. That just kind of messes up the lighting on that side. All right, I guess we'll just kind of keep it on this side. I don't want to do too much because I don't want to tip the balance of the page, to this side because of that blue. It's something we'll think about, as we're doing, because there is like more of the smoke on this side. So maybe we can use that to help balance it out a little bit more. We'll see. I mean, it's not, I'm looking at the small thumbnail up here, and it really isn't too bad. So I think we'll keep those for now. Let's put them up here in a group. I don't know, we'll just call it FX for now. All right, now let's go to Madam Hydra. Like, what are the things I was trying to emphasize that you guys couldn't hear at all? It was when I was coloring Kitty Pryde up here. Shadow Cat. Was that when you're coloring females, like on Sabertooth here, I have like a lot of selections, and it really kind of emphasizes the wrinkles, that are drawn in a bit more. And you can see, like, from the guys, there's like a lot of cross hatching, Wolverine. You can see it on the AIM agents as well. And then on Madam Hydra, and then also on Shadow Cat, there isn't any. I mean, you can see it on the neck, whatever, or like on her mask, but on the faces, and nice and clean. Gives it, really helps sell that soft skin. And this is a female, from first read. So we don't want to do anything, to take away from that and have like 20 million selections, like we do here. So just like nice, clean, lines, and I took a little bit more time to make sure that even when I was using my lasso tool, I went ahead and blended it out, to make it look nicer. So that was some of the stuff I was trying to point out when we got there. Let's go ahead and select all her stuffs. And again, put her on her own layer, lock it down. Let's start with the eyes. So I like the colors we had chosen for these, so we'll just kind of keep it at that. And this one's going to be dark because that's all in shadow, so. There's a huge reflection on her lips. I have to come back and darken that color. Let's see, skin tones. Let's kind of go with a lighter pinkish. I mean, you can see it's more orange, you know, up here, but bring it over. It's a little bit more of a fleshy color. Let's see how this looks with this shadow. I already have that selected. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think that looks all right. So looks like that. And everybody has their own way of doing the highlights. I'm kind of, with this, I'm also kind of, including in like where the drop shadow is going to be, like from the nose and everything. All right, there we go for that side. Chin. Ear. Neck. Let me do one more. Nose. Of course, this side of the lip is gonna get a little bit of a highlight going as well. One thing I've never, I guess I should do, let me see. Which is always fun to do. I really enjoyed doing it. Like when I was coloring stuff for advertising, I was doing makeup on females, and it's something you really don't see a whole lot on comic books. I could see it being a huge pain, like continuity wise, if it's like a main character and they're going to be popping up all the time, then it's just something you're going to have to keep on doing over and over again, and that's a pain. Oops. Let me deselect the hair. There we go. Just trying to get this cheekbone here defined. That, okay. Let's see. I'm just going to do it real subtle on this side. There we go. I like it. There we go. But yeah, it's like here with the makeup, I think that'd be a fun one to do tutorial on. In case you find yourself doing a pin-up or something like that. It's the best way to, lay down some eyeshadow and stuff like that. Not just like lipstick, but eyeshadow and that fun stuff. I'll just do it real fast on here and then show a video later on for you guys. Let's see. And we're just kind of keeping it in mind, like, okay, the hair is falling here. Where the shadows are going to be. And I think we'll have all this in shadow as well. And deselect the colors we don't want. I think that's it. And then grab that. Let's go a little bit darker on it, a little bit more desaturated. And fill it in. Oh, wrong layer. Fill it in. There you go. Now let me do a little bit more of a drop shadow here. Maybe we'll go like that. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, for her eye makeup, I'm just gonna do like some eyeshadow, probably with the same green. Let's go ahead and do that on multiply. Let's see, colors, we'll select that. Because she seems like somebody that would have like green makeup, right? And this side as well. And then usually the way the makeup is laid down, we'll go to a darker color, more towards the center. I mean, more towards the nose. Kind of lighten that up just a little bit. Let me just get a soft eraser and we'll clean this up. I think with that smoky look, with that, you know, darker towards the nose, I think that'll help. I'll just kind of lighten that up a little bit. That'll help her, you know, like with a more evil look. You know, you can tell. I mean, not just like the glaring eyes, you know, but, you know, having that eyeshadow. I mean, not like we could see it on Shadow Cat, but if we could, you know, she would just look a lot more menacing with the smoky look on her eyes. So we're just going to go ahead and merge that down. I'm pretty happy with that. Well, let me clean this up a little bit tighter. Okay, now I'm happy with that. Merge that down. Let's get a... Same as her hair. That's a bit too dark. Let's lighten that up a little bit. Bring out the saturation a little. All right. Kind of dug this kind of color here. Okay. And then we'll just hit the very tip, the ridge of that upper lip. Maybe we'll go in a little bit more, add just a little bit more darkness to it. Just making sure, you know, to reinforce that this lip plane is actually facing down. There we go. Okay. So that looks pretty good. I guess for her outfit, we'll just pick the same color, same greens we're using for those aim agents. And this will be in shadow here. And now for the hair. Same way we did the others, you know, we're just gonna kind of, let me see, pick that color, and I can lighten it up, a little bit more saturation to it. You know, just gonna highlight, you know, the crown of the head. Here's another highlight here. You see. Just to help speed things up, I'm just going to put this on a separate layer so I don't have to keep on, like, you know, deselecting. I'm just dodging just real quick, just so I can pick up that next color without having to go into my color picker. And if you're not confident with, you know, making selections like this, like for hair, you know, don't be afraid to just practice. You know, like you'll see in a penciler's, you know, sketchbook, you know, him practicing to do an arm, you know, 50 different ways, or you'll see an inker, you know, practice straight lines with his brush, you know. Like, you know, as a colorist, don't be ashamed to sit there and like just keep on practicing, you know, doing squiggles like that, and you know, until you're comfortable with your lasso control. Ain't no shame in that game. It's all about getting better, you know. Just gonna hit these couple strands here that are sticking out. That way they're you know, they come more towards us. Add a little bit more dimension. And just remember, you don't want to do every strand the same color, because then all the depth just kind of gets lost and flattened out. Just kind of pick and choose, you know, what makes sense with where the light source is. And that's why it's so important to really look at a piece, you know, before you even start grabbing colors, you know, so you can decide where's my light source, and then you can stick to it and keep it consistent. Is that gonna... Hello? No? Oh, I don't know what happened to my lasso there. Okay, there we go. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we could just leave that. I think for her, whoops, for her hair, let's add a little bit more blue to it. A little bit cyan. We'll desaturate. I just want to add a little bit more differentiation between, you know, her outfit and the aim guy and her. You know, you don't want to get too tricky with all the different colors of green going on, so I think that looks good. One other, I'll just go ahead and merge. I'm merging the hair down to the rest of her. One thing that does bug me, oops, let me get out of that window, is this shadow here. I think it should a little bit more like that. So I'm going to pick that color and we'll blend that in. Yeah. Okay, that's, whoa, it's too much. Get out of here. Get on the right layer. Let me take a look at that now. Yeah, I think that looks a lot better. Now what we could also do is kind of come in here. Let's grab that. And again, we're just barely do a little bit of reflective light. I do also want to darken up this neck. All right, and then right here, just get a little bit more of that reflective. All right, let's see. That green is maybe a little bit too bright, so let's go ahead. This is a part, you know, where it's very easy to start overthinking things. So we don't want to get too crazy with everything. But I think that looks good. That those effects, I think, work pretty good. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for us for this episode. And well, hold on one second. I just want to add a little highlight on there. Let me go to overlay. There, I could keep that little gradient on there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's it. That's it. And now I'm like seeing other little things I could do, but no, that's it. All right, so now we got all the background done. So the next part, we'll start coloring. I'm not sure if we'll color. I'm pointing at the screen with my finger. You guys can't see that. I have to remember that. So our next part, we'll color the smoke effects in this mystery figure right here, or we'll go through and color all. Oops. Okay, now I'm pointing too much with my Wacom pen. Yeah, so next part, either the smoky figure in the background, or we'll handle all the dead aim guys and the hand. I don't know, we'll figure it out. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. As always, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate all your guys' support. If you like what you see, hit that like button, and if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and that'll do it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I try and check them every couple days. Try not to leave you guys hanging. Answer your questions as often as I can, and or if it's something you're embarrassed to ask, you can always hit me up on Twitter as well. I have that in the description as well. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you guys soon. All right, bye bye.